This video is on a phenomenon known as sympathetic vibrations. It's where you are fingering or stopping a note, and that note matches in letter name an open string. It doesn't have to be the exact same octave, it just has to be the same letter name. When you do that, the stopped note that you are bowing will excite the open string. And when the open string is excited and starts to ring, your instrument will sound larger and fuller and project better. So what I want you to do is to do some experiments with this. I want you to place your 4 on the G string. You're playing a D. Now, I want you to pull your bow absolutely parallel to the bridge. That's critical. And then take it off and just listen to the ring afterwards. If your bow is crooked, or you squeak, you ruin this. So make sure you can really get some sound out of the instrument. You will hear sustain afterwards. Now what I want you to do is touch the open D string. You're bowing G, touch D, and you will hear that ring stop. Okay? It's because you're playing the same note on another string and it's making the open D start to vibrate. It should give you a larger sound, and it's a really neat effect. If you're even slightly out of tune, it won't ring. You may get a tiny bit of ring from the actual note that you're playing, but you won't get the sustain from the other string. You won't create the sympathetic vibration. So here's where these notes are. 4s on the G string, D string, and A string. All are the same note as the string above it. So you can check all of those and see if you can get this effect. 3rd finger on the D string, the A string, and the E string are an octave above the string below them. I taught you this on that video about checking intonation, so that you know that if you're really in tune, say I play a 3 on the D string, it's an octave above the open string below it. But you will get the same phenomena here. So you could play 3 on the D and then touch open G, and you'll notice that the ringing stops. Okay? 1st finger on the G string is an A, which is 1 octave below open A. You will get a little bit. It's not as obvious. 1st finger on the D string is the same. It's an octave below open E, but it's the same pitch name, so you will also get a little bit of this. You need to understand that when you're using the higher strings as a sympathetic vibration, it's not as obvious, because the tight strings that have many more vibrations per second do not ring as long anyway, so you can't see it as clearly as when you use the open strings. But it still happens to some extent. Now a low 2 on the E string is a G, which is 2 octaves above your open string. So these are the notes that would create sympathetic vibrations and will help you locate pitches, because you'll learn to feel the instrument's resonance. You'll feel it through the fingertip, you'll feel it through the chin, and maybe the shoulder if you don't use a shoulder rest, and even in the bow, through the hand. These vibrations will become, you will become very sensitive to them. And I use the example or the analogy of taking a knife and cutting warmer or room temperature butter, and how easy that knife goes into the string. It's the same thing with the bow when it's totally in tune to a note that matches an open string. Or if you're a little out of tune, it's like when your knife is cutting through cold or refrigerated butter. There's a resistance. Now it's not that obvious, but it does exist. So I want you to experiment with sympathetic vibrations. Use them to help locate the correct intonation. So make sure that your instrument is in tune, really in tune, before you begin this exercise. Okay? Good luck.